Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and surprise live here. And we're looking at the market come back here nicely. Kind of interesting. We're seeing something very similar play out than, similar to what we saw last time is, we had the sell off yesterday and then CPI comes out today and we're pretty much recouping all of our losses that we had yesterday. So this is good to see. Bitcoin climbing right now is closing in on 24K. We might even see it here on stream. Ethereum might get back over to 1,800 as well. So as you come on in, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Jay Crypto's in the house. What's up, man? So we're going to go over kind of the latest, what we're seeing here from the CPI report here. So we could see a big pop here in the prices in the stock market. Full coverage of the July CPI is being covered pretty much everywhere. This has become like a Super Bowl type of event here in 2022. Everybody is curious about the CPI readings, and it's important. There's no doubt about it. It's important. So, good morning, Soto Rican. How we doing, man? Good morning to you. So it was 8.5% in July. So that's good. U.S. inflation eased slightly to an 8.5% annual rate, but remained close to a 4-decade high in July despite cooling energy prices. Futures tied to the major U.S. stock indexes rose after the report. S&P 500 futures were up 1.7%. Dow futures gained 1.3%, and yields on U.S. Treasuries also fell as well with the report coming out. So it's good. Inflation slows as economy cools, offering a reprieve. And again, that 8.5% number in July, triggering a nice little upswing in tech stocks, in really the broader markets at large here. And Bitcoin continuing to climb. We're going to bring up TradingView here and keep track of Bitcoin's price there for sure. So we can launch this chart here. Take a look at BTC here. This is 5-minute looks here. So you can see what Bitcoin did here in the 5-minute view. Look at that. I mean, those are some big pops here for Bitcoin in the 5-minute. And look at that. We're getting closer and closer to 24,000 again here for Bitcoin. And again, these are 5-minute looks. So we can zoom in a little bit even here and go into the 1 minute. There's Bitcoin in the 1 minute. So we're taking a look at BTC here, getting very, very close to that $24,000 number again. I've got a full thing of coffee in here, ready to hang out with you guys, and welcome in, everybody. Soto Rican's in the house. Robert, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Good morning. Happy hump day, pump day. What's up, man? Yeah, hopefully this pump continues a little bit. We'll be ready for it no matter what, right? I mean, here's the thing. Nothing has really fundamentally changed. I mean, this is, I think, a good enough report to get us back to where we were a couple days ago. I wouldn't expect us to, take off. Right. I don't think we're going to take off from here because we still have all the things at play that we did before the report came out. Right. Good morning, Larry. How we doing, man? Good morning to you. How we doing? Everybody? Welcome in. As you guys pop in, make sure you hit the like button for us. Definitely helps us out, pushes us up into the old algorithm, and brings a bunch of new faces in here. So really helps us out. It's totally free to do too. So. Luke says, I guessed right yesterday afternoon with 8.5%. Nice, Luke. Yeah, you nailed it, bro. You nailed it. That's exactly it. So U.S. inflation decelerates more than forecast on gas price drop. So that's really what we were watching, right? Gas prices. That was big. That was the big thing we were watching for. That's what really drove commodities higher. Of course, everything was higher, right? Like chicken and everything. I mean, but oil was really the reason why inflation hit us so hard here over the past couple months. So let's go in and listen to what they're talking about a little bit. As you guys pop in, would appreciate just hammer that like button for us. Really helps us out. And let's dive in here and listen to what they're talking about over here with Bloomberg and see if we can get some good insight here. And we'll pause it and stop it, and I'll be interacting with chat here too. But we're seeing some nice movement here.
Thank the Lord, who is also parsing this data. Cameron, just looking at the moves we are seeing on the back of this, yields dramatically lower, futures dramatically higher, the dollar dramatically weaker. Is this just a knee-jerk reaction, or is this one that's going to stick off the back of this print?
Well, I mean, ultimately, we're just sort of unwinding a lot of what we priced after the payroll figure, right? Essentially that pushed us to 75 for September, and now we've gone back to 50. So I suspect we'll continue to price 50 for September. And yeah, I would think that certainly on the yield front, these moves will probably stick by and large. As for equities, that kind of remains sort of subject to the ebb and flow, not only of inflation and monetary policy, but also clearly there's a sensitivity to growth numbers as well. So if we see henceforth that some of the growth figures are looking quite poor, then one might posit that equities could in turn look a little more vulnerable.
And of course, we could see a fresh catalyst for markets across asset classes later on today when we get reaction to these numbers from Federal Reserve officials. Michael McKee, we're just about 2 hours away from Charlie Evans talking about the economy. Then a little later on, Neil Kashkari will be discussing inflation in particular. What do you expect their messaging to be after a print like this one?
Well, they come from different places a little bit. Charlie Evans a little more dovish than Neil Kashkari, but I think they're both going to deliver the same bottom line message that this is good news, but we are going to wait until we get much closer to the decision to make a decision about what we're going to do in September, because as Cameron was saying, things can go back and forth. Greg Peters was talking earlier about how volatility is the name of the game, and that's what we're going to be seeing with all of these numbers for the next month, because nobody really knows where we're going with this.
Michael Pond, what's your lead concept as you write for Barclays this morning?
Well, the takeaway from the Fed perspective, you got to think of the Fed as a risk manager. And a year from now, if they didn't do enough and inflation's still high, they will have been seen as making a big mistake. If they do too much and inflation comes in too low and the economy is a little bit softer, they'll call that a win. And so, from a risk management perspective, this print doesn't change the outlook. They still need to continue to focus on bringing inflation down, even though this is good news.
Michael Pond, I'm going to let you go because I know you've got duties at Barclays as well. We're going to continue here with Michael McKee and Cameron Kreis of Bloomberg. But Michael Pond, thank you so much for joining us today. Cameron, just on a hunch, I did a quick Fibonacci retrace of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It was just a hunch. And we are exactly at a 50% retracement from the top to the bottom and making it back up to the top again of Dow 36,000. When do you know that a bear market rallies the beginning of a bull market?
In hindsight, is the only real answer. The only real answer there. I mean, I think it's easy to forget. I mean, if we go back and look at historical analogs, in 2000, the peak of the dot-com bubble, the market peaked in March, but almost reached a new high in September. If you look at the S&P 500, even the Nasdaq 100 came within like 13% of its bubble peak in September of 2000. So a retest or a substantial rally after an initial drawdown is completely consistent with a lot of the historical price action. And unfortunately, you only know if you're in a new bull market kind of once you make
nice,
it
Lord
high.
Shiba.
That obviously only comes with the benefit of hindsight.
Well, Cameron, will the Federal Reserve be happy to see new highs in the equity market when they want tighter financial conditions? At what point, what level would they step in and be like, guys, no?
Yeah, I mean that's the question. I would think, echoing the previous speaker, that the battle hasn't been won yet in terms of inflation. This is an encouraging first step on the path, but it is not the end of the journey. Right. It's the beginning of the journey. So to see financial conditions loosen markedly, thus boosting the nominal demand again, is sort of counterproductive. So yeah, I mean, I think this isn't the end of the tightening cycle. And let's not forget, we've still got another payroll number and another CPI figure before they render their decision in September. So everything can still change.
Cameron Christ, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Head of macro policy here at macro research, I should say, here at Bloomberg. Dropping in briefly, Kathy Jones joins us, chief fixed income strategist at Charles Schwab. Kathy, good news. Do I buy bonds, bills, and notes?
Well, I think this is, as all your previous speakers have been saying, it's a first step. It's certainly not conclusive that we've got, peak inflation behind us. But yes, all along we have thought that as long as the Fed is determined to get inflation down, then the yield curve will invert. They will tighten until that happens, and ultimately that is good news for the bond market.
On that curve inversion, obviously it is less so now after the report, Kathy, negative 42 basis points. Have we already seen the depths if this is the trend?
If we get some more good prints like this and some easing up in the labor market data, I would say that maybe that was it. Historically, it's been hard to go below 40 or 50 basis points on 210s. So we did it in the early 80s, but we haven't really done it since. So my guess is that could be the low if we are in a place where where we start to see these trend in the right direction.
Kathy, to move it to Fed policy, Michael McKee has had to leave here as he gets ready for his continuing coverage for the morning of this huge news. And I do want to emphasize, folks, we've still got a bid to the market. We're not down to a 19 VIX, but we're getting there rapidly, 20.58 on the VIX. Kathy, is today a sea change for the analysis of this Fed? Is today a profound day or another day along the path?
Well, I guess we'll only know that, a couple of months from here. But I think it's a huge sigh of relief for the Fed. It gives them some breathing room, and it could mark a turning point. We just need to see more confirmation of that, where we start to see the numbers ebb a bit consistently, and then the Fed can say, this was the turning point.
But Kathy, a turning point in the pace of rate hikes or a turning point in terms of the ultimate destination?
Oh, the pace more than the destination. Now, the destination's been up for grabs anyway. I think there's been a wide disagreement among economists, among the Fed members, and in the market as to where the ultimate destination is. And we still don't know, but the pace could ease up a bit, which would be good news.
Kathy Jones, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Too short notice here, and we'll have much more with her in the coming days. She is at Charles Schwab as well. Kaylee, Neil Dutta published this moments ago. We were thrilled that he could join us yesterday from Renaissance Macro. And he gets to the story of now. Wage growth is running red hot, and absent a turnaround in productivity, this will ultimately fuel higher prices. There in a single sentence, Kaylee, is the fold in of this efficiency of our economy, our productivity, which wage growth, and the idea of how it affects price. And the answer is this is tangible.
Yeah, and it's going to be something to watch in the reports going forward, Tom, because ultimately what we've just heard from all of our guests is, yes, this is good news, but it is only one day of data. We have another CPI report coming in September prior to the Fed's next policy decision. So is this the beginnings of the makings of a trend, or is this just a standout report?
Well,
Obviously, Tom.
Yeah, I'm going to be more optimistic about it after a bang-up jobs report, after this hugely constructive CPI report. There is a sequence here, but as Neil Dutta says, what about the nation's productivity? Please stay with us. Brian Deese in the next hour.
I agree. I think the verdict's still out, right, for sure. But I mean, this is good news. Back-to-back good CPI reports. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, good results after CPI reports from crypto. And I think it really comes into play when, we expected what we got and there weren't any surprises. This was a little bit better than expected, but the verdict's still out. We'll see. Gas prices are way down. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We'll come back to this here in a little bit. We're going to scrape across Twitter a little bit and also the news and make sure we're staying on top of everything. Let's take a look at some of the prices here. Ethereum is back up over 1,800. Okay, it has crossed back up over 1,800. Look at that big move there for Ethereum. That's great to see. Great to see. We gave our gains back yesterday. You wonder if this is just market manipulation right here, right? I mean, look at this. I mean, we're basically going back to right where we were 2 days ago, right? Look at this. I mean, we were up here at 1800, right where we are now, and it's almost like they said, you know what? Let's take our profits, let's buy back in as soon as the CPI data comes out, and it's funny how this operates. I mean, maybe they meaning the big money, the whales, kind of knew what was coming, had a good indication, and they said, hey, this is a good chance to kind of swing trade here. Maybe they bought back up in here a few days before, wrote it up. That's what a lot of people do right now in the crypto market. They're scalping. They're making a little bit here, a little bit there. But we're back up there to where we were a couple days ago. I mean, when we zoom out to the Ethereum chart for the last month, this is really, really bullish. I mean, less than a month ago, guys, we were sitting at $1,000. Okay, we're well closer to 2 now than we were, just a month ago. And if you go back into mid-June, really mid to late June, we were less than $1,000. I mean, so overall, it's good. Could it be a longer bear trap? It could be. But I think right now we're going to have something unexpected to really derail what we're seeing right now. I think we're coming out of inflation. I do think the worst of it is behind us as Ethereum is skyrocketing as we're talking here up to 1820. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that we have. Couple things. Number one, we have the potential for black swan events, right? There are a lot of tensions going on right now with the United States and China. Let's just call it what it is. And it's a fight over Taiwan. It's a fight over a place where, the future of technology basically lies with chip manufacturing, right? Whether you look at your phone, your car, all the tech we use, a lot of the tech is built there in Taiwan, and there's rising tensions there. That is something we have to consider. We have to consider it. We saw what the war did, which we couldn't consider with Russia and Ukraine. Maybe there were some indications, but not really. You can't really prepare for it, and how that negatively impacted the markets and how it completely destroyed and wrecked prices of commodities and really fueled the fire for inflation, right? So those are things that we can't necessarily factor in or price in, right? It's not like data reports where we know they're coming and we get indications of what they're going to look like before we get them, like this, like the CPI data. Those are sort of black swan events where we just don't know, right? So there's always the threat of that, but I mean, you can't really prepare for that anyway. You just have to, be prepared as much as you can. That's why a lot of people would say, the best way to play it is just dollar cost average, right? Because things are going to happen. But, in terms of like the economy, in terms of inflation, things are looking on the up and up. I do think that. I think the worst is behind us. A really positive jobs report. We're not seeing crazy unemployment rates, right? I want to jump into chat here and see who's with us. Good morning, everyone. J. Dot, good morning to you. Let's see here. Might see a 2,000 ETH here soon. Yeah, we're looking really solid here. I think we just crossed over 820, looks like. And we're heading a little bit higher here. How high did we get? Here, you know what? Let's pull it up on TradingView. We're going to get a better view of it. Bitcoin has already crossed over that $24,000 mark. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. But here's Ethereum heading to 830. Look at that. Ethereum's looking really solid here in the 1 minute view. We'll see just how long this continues, but it's great to see, folks. This is awesome to see. And look at that. I don't think we got as high as this the other day. Let me see if we go into the 1 hour. Yeah. We're definitely setting all-time highs here in the last several months. Yep. So we did not quite get there the other day. We topped out 2 days ago at about 818. We have crossed that, and we're going to continue to monitor this. Ethereum's now up 7.5% right now. So it's great to see. We are up 57% in the last month with Ethereum. So listen, it could be a bigger bear trap. The verdict is still out for sure. The other thing that we're kind of monitoring and watching for, and here's the thing, I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody does, right? But a lot of people still believe that we're in this potential for a housing market collapse. That, of course, is what triggered the 2008 issues that we had, more than issues, recession, right? So it doesn't feel like it's 2008 levels right now, but that's one thing where the verdict's still out. Obviously, we're going to continue to watch it, and but in terms of the economy, jobs, people are working, inflation is coming down here in July, which is good to see, and oil is coming down, which was the main driver of boosting the commodity prices up. And so, all right, let's go back into the 1 minute here. And ETH is just looking really solid, dialing back a little bit here, but setting new highs here in the last couple months for sure. We have not seen a price like this on Ethereum for quite some time. Good morning, Boca. How we doing, man? Good morning. Exciting bounce, but as you said before, nothing has changed around the world. I agree 100%, Todd. And that's why you have to really, really kind of walk on eggshells here. I wouldn't go as far to say, hey, it's time to just start buying. Like if you're someone who took money out on the sidelines and we're waiting for this big indication that we were back, I don't think this is it yet, right? Is it a good sign? Certainly it is. But again, all the all the people who say dollar cost average, I think they look really smart in times like these because it's hard to time the market. It's so hard to time the market. Right. There's a great quote that I really like. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. Right. And time in the market over time will make you money. Good morning, Justin. How we doing, man? Thanks, Kat. Appreciate you always bouncing in here. You and Boca, we got some mods in the house. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. I think a lot of new people coming in here this morning. Really appreciate you stopping by and learning with us and breaking it down here. And we're going to get back and listen to some of the stuff from Bloomberg here in a little bit. But just kind of taking a look at kind of what crypto's doing here and getting some nice price action here from Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we could see here everything is rising up with it. Here comes Avalanche and Phantom. They're up quite a bit here. And we're basically gaining everything back that we lost yesterday, right? Deciding between ETH gas and car gas. First world problems. Nice, Lord Shiba. Welcome in, man. Pyromatic 2022 ERC token of the year. I did hear about Pyro. Yeah, it's been going crazy. Shib going to 1,300 and up 1,400. Where is Shib? Let's see. I don't want to do this. Maybe later. There we go. Shib is at 12.4 right now. We'll take a look at it over on TradingView too once we bounce over. Closing back in on a $7 billion market cap. But pretty much everything looks like this morning. Just a shot out of the cannon chart upwards after the CPI report. So this is good news here this morning. But again, taking everything with a grain of salt. Still a lot of information and news to come. Kaylee is the best part of Bloomberg. Maniac, nice. Boca, hey, Kat. Yep. I have an idea of Shibarium. Shibarium will implement their own burn tax. In order to attract more developers and money, Shibarium should allow developers to implement their own burn tax as well. That's an interesting idea. I like that, actually. That's fascinating. I haven't thought about that. Excited about Shibarium, of course. Did the CPI data come out yet? Yes, Drew, it did. We did get the data. So here we go. Consumer price index climbed 8.5% in July, a bigger slowdown than expected, but inflation may remain pretty high for some time. But again, it's all about the feeling investors get. If it doesn't go against what they thought would happen, if there weren't any surprises, I think the market right now is going to react pretty well. Right? So as long as we don't get any big surprises, big shocks, something that comes out of left field, I think the market is priced in the fact that, hey, yeah, inflation's going to be a little issue for a while, but that's okay. We understand why. We get it. As long as we don't have any crazy things happen, right, that hit us out of nowhere, then we're going to be pretty bullish, at least here in the short term, right? So, yeah, Todd says 8.5. Got it. Julio, good morning to you, man. Nice pump. Wasn't expecting it. Yeah, Sandstorm Power. Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. But again, taking everything with a grain of salt this morning, for sure. Who cares about predictions from John? What happens? What's going to happen happens. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's, to this point, that's why a lot of people just dollar cost average. They don't try to, outsmart the market, right? The chip bill tells me that the U.S. expects to lose or be off from Taiwan. Well, Lord, I had heard for weeks that the United States is going to put a lot of effort into bringing chip manufacturing back to the United States. I watched a video last night from Coin Bureau about this whole fight over Taiwan, and it's staggering when you think how big of a deal this is. It's upwards to like 60 some odd % of all chips in the world are manufactured in Taiwan. I mean, it's huge, and it has huge ripple effects throughout the entire world. And that's why, Pelosi was over there in Taiwan, right? And why there's been this big uproar, between Taiwan for years and years and years, because of how important that manufacturing is to the global economy. And so, of course, it's become very, very at the forefront as we've had these supply chain issues, right? So that's another issue. Due to the supply chain issues that we had, with the pandemic, it's really been brought to the forefront, if you will, right? Todd, was the expected what was the expected CPI numbers? That's a good question, Todd. If you got that, let us know. Good morning, Rodney. How we doing? Eddie, good morning to you, man. All I can see is a scar meme with big letters. Be prepared. Scar meme with big letters. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shaitoshi to launch Shiba 2.0 Shibarium very soon. Crypto Burger, do you have some inside scoop there, man? How'd you get that info? If you got an inside source, let me know who it is. Justin says it's a technological and economic Cold War, a lot posturing, cyber attacks, culture wars, etc. 100%, Justin. Yeah, wars aren't fought bootstraps on the ground anymore, right? Shooting across fields. They're not fought that way. They are fought through exactly what you mentioned here: cyber attacks, culture wars, the fight over technology. 100%. I agree 110%. I bought ETH at 1,700. When to sell? Hey, man, that's totally up to you. Are you looking to swing trade it? Are you looking at it as a long-term investment here? Ethereum is kind of leveling off here at 1,800, a little bit over 1,800. But we did see it pop all the way up to almost 1,840 in the last 10 minutes or so. We'll see if we can continue to rise here and we get another boost. We'll see. Let's see. Justin, correct, sir. Yeah, I agree 100% with Justin's comment there too. Shiba Inu token is opening the doors to us, the rest of us who are the 99%, who always have to settle for the crumbs the 1% throw at us. Thus, we are now a socio-economic movement, unstoppable. I love it, Crypto Burger. And I love that you said that, because SHIB is exactly that in my mind too. It gives the people back the power. And I think that's why everybody jumped on board with their mission and their vision, because it was kind of a pushback against the establishment. And I think people love that. And we saw it with, GameStop and AMC in the stock market. And then it filtered into crypto last year with Dogecoin and SHIB, right? Leading the way. Good morning. What are some indicators that devs have abandoned a crypto project? Samuel, that's a good question. Being quiet, not being engaging and active as they once were. I'd say that's the biggest indicator. Not delivering on their roadmap, right? With no updates, nothing like, hey, we're still working on this, but we're going to be a little late with it. If they just go completely silent, bad sign. Bad sign. Will it go higher than 1910? It's a good question. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. Nothing else matters except Volt. DJ Fresh, what's happening, man? Yeah, Volt has been crushing it. I love the community they have over there. Voltoshi's been delivering. I love it. I love it. It's a fake pump. I wouldn't say it's a fake pump. I mean, we're getting right back to where we were, yesterday. And again, if we zoom out a little bit into the 7-day, you could see here's the SHIB chart. We're not quite there where we were yesterday yet, right? Might be lagging behind here a little bit, but no, I don't think it's a fake pump. I do think we have to invest with being cautious still. We'll say that. I don't think it's a turning point that says, hey, we're back bullish all the way. Here we go. take all your money off the sidelines and inject it into the crypto market or any market. I don't think that's it. You know, I'm slowly dollar cost averaging into both markets right now, right? And so if it goes lower, I'll buy a little bit more, right? More than I would the day before. Same thing with the traditional stock market too. Tops are usually formed within with a thin, fast move into key resistance. Yep, Christian, we're seeing that exactly happen right now. But ETH slowly building back up. Look at that. 1845 on ETH. We are on our way up. Yep, it's looking solid here. Looking solid. I'm a little behind in chat. Luckside's out here. What's up, man? What's up? Greetings from Slovenia. That's awesome, Rook. What's happening? Daniel, what's going on? What's going on? Shibarium release date. Don't have that, man. I wish we did. Hit the like button, everyone. It's not a hard ask. Yeah, it's totally free. 8.7 was expected mostly. Okay, 8.7, and we got 8.5, right? We got 8.5. Vet going to 10 cents soon. I love Vet. Love Vet. Don't know when it's going to 10 cents, but I definitely think it's going to be back there and above it over time. So, yeah, love Vechain right now. And it's at a great price point. I mean, it's probably up a little bit here today from yesterday. But let's see. Vechain. Sitting at still 3 cents. You know, it took us a while to get past that pesky resistance level of 288. And we did break through it. Sitting up there at 3 cents right now. But, yeah, Vechain's got a ton of potential. And I agree 100%. Great to see Bitcoin back up over that 24K. Ethereum back up over 1,800. Let's see. Sold my wife's wedding ring for Bitcoin. JK. That would not go over well, right? I don't think that would go over well. Let's bounce back into Bloomberg and see what they got. Here, wait. Let's refresh this. There we go. Let's refresh this and see what's happening. We're still on an advertisement here. All right, we got to watch this real quick. So watching Polkadot here a little bit too. What's Polkadot doing? Not a lot of price action here with Polkadot. What are some of the biggest movers here? Let's see. Let's just check in the last hour. Celsius is up. Elrond Ethereum is leading the way. You know, with the Ethereum merge coming, something that I thought was interesting, Raoul Paul was talking about, if Ethereum gets back over 2,000 into 2,200 ahead of the Ethereum merge, he thinks it could trigger kind of hedge funds to be forced back in case they were to miss the big run up. So that'll be interesting. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if we get an influx of big money coming in around the merge if we're around that 2,000 to 2,200 price target, just in case Ethereum were to explode. The hedge funds wouldn't want to miss it. Then, of course, if they get in, retail money would follow, and it's this cycle that we saw last year, right? It's that whole thing of, well, if they're getting in, I have to get in, and everybody's just kind of following the green candlestick. The good thing is, if you're already in, if you've already got your position, you're prepared for either scenario, right? All right, let's listen in here to Bloomberg and see what they've got.
Nervousness around production, and that would tend to push prices higher. And I think we're going to continue to see some quite volatile movements in crude oil prices, particularly over the next month or so when trading is relatively thin over the summer. So, you know, a few traders moving one direction or the other can have a big impact on prices.
Julian Lee, Emily Wilkins, thank you both so much. And don't miss our interview with National Economic Council Director Brian Deese coming up here in just about 10 minutes. We are seeing oil fluctuate, WTI down about 0.3% after surging and then being down more than 1%. Richard Bernstein and James Camp back with us. Oil very much a front and center when it comes to this story. As I said before, gasoline prices fell 7.7% in July after rising 11.2% the month earlier. Very hard to get your arms around, James. How are you positioning given some of the oil fluctuations and what you're expecting in terms of the sustainability of the declines we've seen?
Well, the key to positioning, at least for us, has been to be a little bit more aggressive in the bond market, because this sort of demand destruction or fall in energy, I think, is representative of a global slowdown. And so for us, it has been rotating out of risk assets, meaning stocks, underweight the equity side, an increase in allocation to the fixed side, which really occurred mid-June, kind of coincident with, we think, the secular peaks in the 10-year was. We look at the oil story more on a demand destruction global slowdown than it is some sort of policy win, if you will, in terms of getting more energy to more people. And the other part of the energy story for us, the food and energy story really is consumers have been dealing with this for a long time. And when you go into a Fed tightening cycle with those two things elevated, energy and food stuff, you almost always, if the data that I'm looking at are correct, you fall into recession. And we think that's the story that's going to be dominating as we move into the back half of the year in early 2023.
That's fascinating, especially as you see food prices continuing to climb. In the CPI report, they increased almost 11% from a year ago, the most going back to 1979, not exactly a historical analog that you want to see. Richard, from your perspective, do you take the oil price decline, the gasoline price decline, as a signal, or is it noise? Is it reflective of people's belief in what will come, or is there true demand destruction and a true weakening in the economic outlook that you could then trade on?
So, Lisa, I think just broadening it a little to commodities overall, there's been a lot of people who have said that the worst in the commodity space is behind us. That's a very good sign for inflation going forward. I think it's a little early to, if I can harken back to the mission accomplished sign, I think it's a little early to put that banner up right now, given that China's been in a lockdown. Look, if China's economy is hitting on all 8 cylinders, or even 6 of 8 cylinders, and commodity prices are falling, I think we have something. But the fact that China's been in lockdown and commodity prices are falling, I don't see why that's insightful. I don't understand why that's a signal of anything other than China shut down. If you look at something like copper demand is starting to go up. Copper imports into China have started to go up again. You know, that may be a harbinger of things to come yet. So certainly, you know, it's encouraging. It's encouraging politically. I understand that. But I think from an investing point of view, you want to be a little careful. So what we've been doing is kind of straddling, if you will, one foot in the late cycle sectors of energy and materials and industrials, and the other foot in the defensives, you know, things like consumer staples and healthcare and utilities. I think what's very interesting is that most discussions focus on should you be in cyclicals or should you be in growth? Nobody talks about defensives, but in periods when profits decelerate, the Fed's tightening, that's the group that very often does quite well.
Richard Bernstein, James Camp, to both of you, thank you so much on this day of a CPI reprint that is very much changing market expectations right now. I'm very much looking at the dollar in particular, plunging, weakening, I should say, the most going back at one point.
All right, we'll come back to that. So this was something I talked about yesterday. I just saw somebody post something about H-bar. So I wanted to bring this up because in case you missed this yesterday, in case you're new to the channel, I wanted to share this with you. So I think this is pretty helpful for you. Hold on, let me take that banner out of there, hide that. There we go. So this is what I own in the crypto market in the top 100. So these are my top holdings within the top 100. And by the way, if you are popping in here for the first time, welcome in. Make sure everybody out there hits that like button. It's totally free, guys. Takes like 0.2 seconds. It's the best way to give back to any YouTuber that you enjoy. Anytime you get value, best thing you could do is hit the like button and subscribe. So definitely appreciate that. Okay. So if you're just popping in, if you saw this yesterday, I'm sorry, but it's okay. A lot of people haven't, and I want to share this because I think this is a good perspective. And here's the thing. Let me preface this by saying, I don't have this all figured out. I mean, this is just one way to go about it, but I own about 23 assets in the top 100. And these are my holdings in terms of how much I hold straight down the line. So for me, it's Ethereum, it's Bitcoin, it's Cardano, right? Now, these three right here make up a big chunk of the overall portfolio for me. Okay. Now, after that comes this next set. And really, it's these four that have very similar dollar figures: BNB, SHIB, Crow, and Gala for me. Okay. Crow, Gala, very, very bullish on, of course, SHIB. And BNB, I've come around to it recently. And luckily, BNB's got to be up there today, too. Back up to 330. Love it. Man, I'll tell you what, BNB is a sleeper. I looked over this one for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And I'll tell you what, down here, you could have got this below $200 BNB. Now we're well over 300. That's a big reversal for a big market cap, ranked number 5. That's a big reversal. And I was happy to get a lot of BNB down in here during this dip. So I took some losses on some things to acquire more BNB, but you know what? It's come back very nicely because of the returns I've made already on the BNB, and it's more of a long-term hold for me. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about where I'm heading there with BNB, SHIB, Crow, and Gala. Then the next few on the list would be Vet, Algo, and MATIC, right? These are kind of in a similar category for me. Vechain, Algorand, and MATIC. I'd like to have more MATIC than Vechain and Algo. I'm working on that. The problem is MATIC has been performing too well. I don't want to buy it right now, right? I did buy some at 55 cents. I wish I'd have bought more, but look at this. It's up here at 93 cents. I don't want to buy it right now. I don't want to buy it right now. And I mean, here's the thing. If you're playing the long game, you could make the argument to still acquire it right now. I mean, still, like, there you go. If you zoom out to Polygon's chart, I mean, you're still well off of all-time highs that were set late last year when it got close to $3, right? I mean, you're still at a nice spot here. But ideally, I'd love to get it even on a pullback down here into like mid 70s, right? Even on a pullback right in here into like 70-cent range. I think that'll happen somewhere down the line here very soon, and that's where I'll look to add more. Okay. And especially, I mean, if we get down into here 50, 40, 30 cents, I mean, yeah, give me all the Polygon down in here where it hit its yearly lows. Okay. All right. So let me go back to my sheet here. And then ApeCoin, which is a fascinating one. I know a lot of people are like, wait, what? ApeCoin over Solana and AVAX? Listen, I just think it has a lot of room to run. I'm big on community. And obviously, you know, ApeCoin is not only just a community token. It is that. It is that, right? Here it is. It's right here next to Vechain and Algorand in terms of market cap. It is that, right? It is a community token. But here's the other play. It's the top metaverse play. So you're basically getting a top community token in the top 50 with huge, huge backing and people behind it within the BAYC community. And you're also getting a top metaverse play. I like it. I like it. And I got in at a really good price point, so I'm excited about that. All right, so Ape, I'm in there. Sol and AVAX, they're kind of all in the same wavelength for me here. All in the same wavelength for me. HBAR, these are kind of all similar plays. HBAR, XRP, and XLM. It's really XRP and then XLM. There we go. XRP and then XLM. All these plays are ISO 22 plays. Okay. I do want more XRP. I do, but I'm just not willing to go there yet. Then we've got some more metaverse plays. Theta and Mana down here. I know, no sandbox. Had to make some decisions. Missed it. I could have got it on the pullback here recently, but, you know, it is what it is. Then Phantom, Zilliqa. Zilliqa is another metaverse play, but more than that. Phantom, of course, we talked a lot about it last year. I used to have a larger position here, decreased it down. Engine, another nice gaming play there. Engine is just kind of like an ETF for gaming. And then we've got Chili's here too. So those are my 23 cryptos that I hold that are all part of the top 100. Let me know what you guys think about this list in chat. What do you guys think? Did I do okay here? What am I missing? Am I missing something big? SHIB was 37% of my portfolio. Then we dipped last night. Now it's 39%. Nice. Nice. Let's go see what Ethereum's climbing again, guys. Let's go, baby. Look at ETH. Getting close to 850 in the 1 minute. Look at Ethereum. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love to see it here, guys. This is awesome stuff. Awesome, awesome stuff here. Let me give us a little bit more room here. There we go. There's volume in RSI there. Okay. Zach, about 3 a.m., my ShibToro was at 900,000 in my wallet. Then I went to Uniswap, but the price wasn't close. Do you know what happened? It was definitely a malfunction within your wallet. That happens from time to time. Same thing here, right? This probably could be something similar with your Shiba Doge. Go to swap it and make sure that it's actually the dollar amounts there. Sometimes the figure disappears, but it's actually still there, or it shows a different number than you really have. Hey, Raquel, good morning to you. Yeah, Boca says Coinbase wallet is notorious for errors. There you go. I have heard of Hulk Inu, but I have not looked into it, Taz. I'm not really focused on a lot of the Inus right now. I'm kind of really focused on blue chips, right? The smaller cap stuff, you know, I've got a little exposure to smaller caps. We can go over to Dex Tools and take a look at some of the small caps. This is my biggest holding in the small cap area. It's BTFA. We had a big dip here, but you know, this is a good buying opportunity. Look at people buying up that dip at the 5059. Still a $5 million market cap. Some of the other smaller caps that I like, WAGMI is another one I still really like. Cult really isn't a small cap, but I like it. I do have some Cult. Strong community. I like Cult a lot. Volt is another one I like. We're on a nice little dip here for Volt too. You know, not too long ago, we were up closer to that 10 range. So you could see here, we're on a little bit of a pullback here for Volt, but hey, I mean, that's pretty solid here. We're trading pretty tightly. I do like Volt still. Streamer, I still like Streamer. It's only a $2 million market cap. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. See the full chart. Apollo, of course, one of my largest holdings. If you call a $21 million market cap a small cap, still really like Apollo. They're doing some great things, helping fund creators. They have changed so many lives in a short amount of time already. I guess you would call this kind of a mid cap, right? In this $20 million range. Terrarium, same thing here, $51 million market cap, but still think has a great potential to perform well. Their utilities are now rolling out. I've got ApeCoin listed here. Of course, that's not really a small cap, more of just a, I like to check it and see where it's at. Man, this was great when we had this run up back in April, though, ahead of the other side Metaverse play. Made some nice swing trades there, but still accumulated more down here on the dips. Got more down here at like $4. Now my average cost is somewhere between like $5 and $5.50. Love it, Shiba. Love the confidence. What's Pyro? People were talking a lot about it, Dietrich, but I haven't looked in it too much. But it's like a big burn token, from my understanding. It did perform really well. I'm sure it dialed back a little bit. I mean, it was on a absolute tear there for a minute. I don't know which one it is. Adam Shelton was covering quite a bit. Everyone needs to get some quant. I definitely need to look at quant closer, Henrock. Morning, Libre. How we doing? James, thanks so much for becoming a new member to the channel. Appreciate you, man. You missing Avalanche? No, I've got Avalanche in there. Look, I got AVAX right here. Sitting at number 14 of my 23. So I got some AVAX. Why no Algo? I got it. I got Algo. It's ranked 9. It's way up here. I've got some Algo. XRP is extremely under. I know you're not the first person to tell me that, Stoney, and I have some, but I probably don't have enough. I just, you know, I just, with the SEC lawsuit, I just went other directions during these dips. You know, I wanted to establish a nice position in BNB. I was able to do that. I wanted to establish a nice position in AVAX and HBAR. I was able to do that. I was able to shore up my position in Gala and Crow and Shib and Cardano. I did that. So you just have to pick and choose, right? I mean, you can't buy everything. You have to, you know, draw the line in the sand somewhere. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I still like XRP. Boca says, if you're looking for this type of information on the regular, Zach has built a great Discord community. You gain access to it through his Patreon. It's in his description. Yes, Boca, thank you for reminding me, man. I always forget to give us a plug over there. Boca is a great moderator in our private community as well. If you want to join, the link is down below in the description. It's $20. You could test it out for a month, see if you like it. We'd love to have you over there. Some really, really intelligent people over there. We're talking about all things crypto all the time. Also, something coming to the private community very soon. I have my business manager is starting a crypto tax business, and it will be offered exclusively first to my private community members. This is going to be a game changer. I used these services last year, saved me thousands and thousands of dollars on my taxes last year. So that is something that is getting closer. He's got the website up. The business is created. He's going to be coming into our private community talking about that, as well as, we just have ongoing conversations about all things crypto, whether it's crypto taxes, new launches, everything. Tokens on the Ethereum side, BNB side, blue chips. We've got you covered. So love to see you over there and join us for sure. Crypto shops in the house. What's up, Hobbs? Here comes the market. Yeah, man. I love it. I love it. I need Near protocol. Yeah, that's another one I don't have. Near and Quant, I definitely need to look at more closer. I'll tell you the other one. I'm going to do a video on this one today too, guys. Don't sleep on Flow. Right here. I've got a video coming out on this today. Okay. I might even release it the first video after the live stream. Flow token. Some big news lately coming out with Flow. So I got a video coming out on that one. Yeah, now Matt, he's not my like CPA or anything. I have a CPA, but my business manager does all the crypto stuff for me, and then we just easily hand it off to the CPA. Because here's what happens, guys. A lot of the CPAs, and I ran into this issue last year, a lot of the CPAs are not yet understanding enough of crypto and the markets to really understand gas fees, buy and sell taxes. These are all write-offs. Gas fees are write-offs. Buy and sell taxes, especially when you're trading community tokens. These are write-offs. And again, my business manager has helped me save a ton of money by really digging in. And he's got a sheet for every asset that I've ever been in 2021 and again here in 2022. So it's going to be a great service. I'm really excited that he's actually going to build it and do it. So again, private community members will get first access to that. Really excited about offering that out to people and, getting people's thoughts on it. I'm going to bring him on kind of for like an AMA, kind of, have him, show off the business, exactly what he does, and people can ask him questions. And that'll be exclusively for the private members. So no Bluebit, Zach. Listen, I love Bluebit as another small cap. Keith, thank you. I just brought them onto the channel recently. Man, they are building a ton of great things. A ton of great things. Yes, Blue Sparrow token. Definitely check them out. We had their entire team, not their entire team, but 3 members of their team on a AMA last Friday, was it? Yeah, last Friday. We had Terry on and Shannon, and we had Winston on as well. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. They've got an NFT marketplace. They've got a centralized exchange that not only just handles crypto, but other assets as well. They do giveaways, daily giveaways, 7 daily winners. I mean, just amazing stuff. You could trade commodities. They've got Forex trading there. They've got an iOS app and an NFT marketplace. Big, big stuff. They've been featured on Newsmax and Fox Business. So, oh, look at this. They recently just burned 100,000 Blue Sparrow too. Nice. From bluebit.io fees. Oh, that's a great idea. Use the exchange to burn the native token. What's going on with these baby Doge burns? Let's take a look at baby Doge. So yesterday I made a little swing trade. I'm out of the trade now. I didn't, so I wanted it to be Binance. It wasn't. Oh, but it's back up today. So I got in yesterday at about 15, it was like 15.5, something like that, right? And it ran all the way up to about 17.4 on the heels of the news yesterday. And then we got news that it was the swap. But still, nice little swing trade. Got in, got out. Now, if it were Binance, the reason why I got into this trade yesterday was it was a swing trade that I thought had very low risk and a lot of upside. Those are swing trades I like to jump into. Very low risk with a lot of upside. Because if the announcement yesterday was Binance listing Baby Doge, this thing, in my opinion, would have went insane. It was not that. It was just the swap. But, you know, all in all, I made a little bit. I didn't make as much as I wanted to on the trade, but I made a little bit and got out. You know, ended up making a little bit of BNB. Got it right back into BNB and made some BNB to add to my BNB position yesterday. I'm cool with that. I want to beef this position up. I want to keep it right there. I like these top 5, really. I really like these top 5. And then, of course, I mean, I like all of them, but Crow and Gala, really these top 7, I have a lot of really strong confidence in. Oh, you can't see that because there we go. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, BNB, Shib, Crow, Gala. Really like those. Really like that being my top 7. Again, I'd like MATIC to be there ahead of Vet and Algo. And then I think Algo eventually will, I think Algo would probably stay right here. I'd like to flip my Vet and MATIC. I'd like Vet to be down here at 10 and MATIC to be at 8, ideally. BTC back to 24K. Yeah. Loving it, man. Loving it. Let's see here. All right. ETH is leveling off a little bit here again, but saw some nice run-ups here this morning. Beautiful stuff here. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Where's Bitcoin? Excuse me. BTC. Okay, just dipped down below again, 24, but we've been up there today, almost up to 24.2. Look at these. Like, these are 1 minute sticks, though. Look at these 2 minutes. Boom. As soon as that stuff was released, just went from 23 all the way up to 23.65. I'm going all in on Gala. I love the project, and I'm a huge gamer. Do you see Gala going to 0.02 cents? Do you see Bitcoin going down to 15K? That's what a lot of people said, right? A lot of people had that sentiment, Paintball. But as we sit today, I'm leaning towards the fact that I think we hit the bottom. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball. That could change. Something could happen like a black swan event that can throw all of that out the window. But just based on the information we have at our disposal, I do think we've hit bottom. Could we go down and maybe retest it, get close to it? Sure. But I don't think we're going to go that low for Gala. I think 4.5 cents right now is kind of the low point. And I agree with your sentiment, by the way. Very, very bullish on Gala myself. Did a video recently talking about how Gala could overtake Steam somewhere down the line. I mean, seriously, it has that much potential, in my opinion. True, good morning to you, man. Good morning. Justin says you should move your MATIC to number 6. Just saying. I like that. I like that too. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I would not be mad if MATIC was above Crow and Gala. That's true. It's in the top 10, but you're right. It's got to come somewhere in here, or even 5. I wouldn't be mad if MATIC was number 5. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Hey, Zach, I like what you've done on YouTube. What is the best way to engage with you and your group? Patreon is even better pricing than $20 per month. Any specials? Would like to give it a try. Not right now. It's just the $20 per month rate. There is a better rate if you go ahead and do the yearly subscription. Then you're good for a year. Then I think that price point, let me double check for you. I think it's $200 for the year. So you do get a discount if you get the yearly membership. So if you signed up today, you would be good until August 10th of 2023. So there is that option. Yeah, it's $200 for the year. That is correct. So that link's down below if you're interested in that. But appreciate you showing interest, man. Definitely would love to add you to our group and to our team. What's the best way to find projects before they hit the exchanges, pre-sales, etc.? Honestly, James, Twitter, staying locked into the news and information that educators like myself here on YouTube talk about. Also, you can go to there are some websites out there like Pink Sale talks a lot about new token releases, new launches, and things like that. There haven't been as many new launches in a bear market, of course, right? Boca says you can always buy a percentage of your gala now, and if it dips, DCA your gala on the way down. Yeah, for sure. Hotbit exchange under investigation. Yeah, Hotbit is no good in my opinion. There have been a lot of issues there with Hotbit. Bone holders and crypto holders can't get their crypto off the exchange. Man, that's brutal. That's why I really don't dabble with some of the small exchanges. Crypto.com and Coinbase for me are the two exchanges that I do use. But a lot of my assets are now off of centralized exchanges on the ledger now, decentralized wallets, and then backed up on this right here. Lou M, Zach, thanks for all you do. What's in your golf bag? What kind of sticks do I play? That's a good question, Lou. I like it. I have some Callaway X forged irons that I'm not hitting as well as I want to right now, but hit the driver pretty well. I've got a ping driver, a couple years old. I think it's the what would that be? The G12, something like that. I hit that thing well recently, but yeah, that's what I've got. And then I've got what do I got? I got I think I've got an Odyssey putter, Cleveland wedges, Cleveland 60 degree. So that's what's in my golf bag. And of course, I got some balls and tees and gloves and things like that. Yeah. Lou, what do you got? What sticks are you hitting? But the Callaway X forged irons, I love them. I've had them for a long time. They're tough to hit, but when you hit them right, they're really solid. Yeah, I agree, Lord. I agree. All right, let's bounce back into Bloomberg here, and let's refresh this up. Let's see what they're saying here. Let's see who they have on. Got a little bit of an advertisement here. Boca, appreciate that. The ledger is a piece of hardware that you have to physically interact with, even selling your crypto. Right. It's an added step for more security with your crypto. Yes. Appreciate you, Boca. The CHIPS Act. They're talking about the CHIPS Act. There you go. We were just talking about this.
This bill. The United States must lead the world in the production of these advanced chips. This law will do exactly that.
President Biden signing the CHIPS Act into law and unleashing $52 billion for U.S. semiconductor production.
There you go.
Micron Chief Executive Officer Sanjay Mehrotra weighing in on the legislation yesterday. Take a listen.
It will enable us to meet the growing demand for memory that is anticipated for this decade. Memory is expected to grow faster than the rest of the semiconductor industry, and memory consumption is expected to double by the end of this decade. And we will need more wafer capacity in order to supply that demand.
For more, Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow joining us now from San Francisco. Ed, it's been a bloodbath in the semiconductor space. Do we have a sense of how significantly this CHIPS legislation could affect that and what's behind the declines?
Yeah, I mean, the impact will be delayed and it will be limited in the near term. Philadelphia Semiconductor Index up 1.8% today, but remember yesterday it dropped by the most in 2 months. And what's really changed is in this earnings period, the breadth of worry. We started with Intel and Nvidia giving us an indication that demand for PC had dropped, the chips that go into PC. Now that's expanded through Micron to DRAM memory chips, and a broader sense that demand for consumer electronics through to data centers is falling off, and that in turn is also stoking recession fears. The $52 billion number from the White House appears to be a big number, but the reality is that to build infrastructure and capacity for manufacturing of semiconductors takes many, many years. The $52 to $53 billion figure is also nothing compared to the capex plans of a number of Asia-based chip manufacturers who are moving simply much more quickly. And as you look across Wall Street, there's muted enthusiasm on the impact that this will have, other than to sort of give a shot in the arm of the domestic industry to onshore this demand. We've really changed our focus in recent weeks. We went from talking about a multi-year continuation of the expansion of demand for chips to going back to being with concerns about a supply glut. Remember, this is a boom and bust industry historically, and now that signs our demand is curtailing off, we've already seen additional investments to expand capacity. The worry is that we get left with a chip glut.
Ed Ludlow, thank you so much. Still with us, G Squared's Victoria Green. She's been staying defensive amid rising rates, writing a quote, "Value is still a good place to be, and this is more a bear market reversal rally than June being the true bottom, especially with tech seeing some pressures and semiconductors struggling with potential gaming and PC slowing down." Victoria back with us. Victoria, how much do you double down on this conviction despite the rally, despite some of the reprieve in inflation that we just saw in the CPI print?
So I look at the fundamentals and what has really been this rally. What has this rally been based on since the June lows? And it was a sentiment-based rally, maybe a technical-based rally, but it certainly really wasn't on earnings and company fundamentals. And so I look at this and I say, what does the CPI print mean for earnings going forward? Does it move me off the sidelines? I say, one, no, we're still on a tightening cycle. Two, yes, the US dollar may moderate some, but we're still seeing a very strong US dollar, which multiple countries warned on for revenue drag. And then three, we have a lot of time between now and September. You know, how bullish, bearish are the Fed going to be, and what's going to happen with unemployment? So we look around and we still feel like it's a contracting world. And this is a very confusing market. You have some data points saying we're strong market, but you know, we have a tight labor market. You have low unemployment. You have a stock market that's
it is confusing.
And the stock market's a leading indicator. So maybe everything we're looking at is backwards data and we're late and behind. But if I look at fundamentals, I still see a lot of headwinds that I'm just not comfortable chasing risk yet. I get it. The meme stocks, the ARK funds, the techs, that's been the major rally point coming off the lows. But if you look under the hood at the numbers, the number of companies that are warning, the number of companies that didn't make as much money, the number of downgrades and earning revisions that we've seen, and the expectation on the second half, I'm just a little reluctant to chase into this. I own stocks still. We absolutely still have an allocation, so we're going to ride this wave a little bit. I'm just not throwing all in. I'm not going to go all in when I don't have anything supporting this on the fundamental side.
Just quickly, Victoria, what are you looking for to change your view? What data point, what development?
I think if we actually saw a healthy economic growth, a healthy consumer, we're still seeing pressures on the consumer. Food prices, home prices still going up. I see this as potential temporary. So yes, I'd like to see company fundamentals, their ability to grow earnings, their outlook for earnings be a little bit more cheerful. And I honestly am concerned about global growth. You know, what's going to happen in Europe with gasoline? If Europe sneezes and gets a recession, can we stay out of it? Are we in a recession? I think there's too many data points that aren't bullish right now to chase into it.
Victoria Green, thank you so much for taking the time. Coming up, we have the market moving events that you need to be coming and watching in the week ahead. That's next in our trading diary. In the markets, you can see that sustained rally on the heels of the inflation rate. From New York, this is Bloomberg.
Okay, so interesting perspectives there. And really, it's a lot of the same that we've been talking about, right? The verdict is still out. The verdict is still out. So don't, she's basically saying she's not putting all of her chips in yet, right? Sure, she's still in the market, but dollar cost averaging is really what she's saying, right? Slowly treading lightly. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm keeping a lot more cash on hand in both the stock market and the crypto market and watching closely. Now, when particular assets that, I own up in here get low and get down to price points that I really like, let's take, Cardano, for example, right? Cardano gets down close to 45 cents. Yeah, love it, because it's a long-term hold for me too. So you have to ask yourself that as well. What are your plans with the asset you're getting into, right? So that's a really important question to ask. Zach, with the new bill to expand the IRS, do you think the IRS will now target those into crypto? Certainly, they're going to be more keen on looking into this. I agree. Yes, Taz, I do think that's a piece of it. I did see that. What are there now, like 82,000 employees now for the IRS or something? I think more than anything, it's a good sign because they realize that crypto is becoming a bigger deal. Crypto is becoming a bigger part of a lot of people's portfolios, and they're going to need more hands on deck for sure. And it's a harder thing to track. It's a harder thing to dig through, right? So yes, I do think that is exactly an indication. But also, the population's growing as well, just in general, right? So hiring more people there for those purposes obviously makes sense too. Private Discord for members only, right? Yes. And Andrew Brew, welcome into the private community, man. I saw your post there when we were listening to Bloomberg. Looking forward to meeting you and having you in our private group, man. Thanks so much for joining. How much is your overall portfolio worth? William, I don't want to talk about that. I don't think it's maybe one day I'll showcase it, but right now I'm gonna refrain from saying what the overall portfolio is worth. It fluctuates heavily, and it changes a lot, right? Because I'm always kind of looking at different opportunities, sometimes taking a little bit of a loss here to get back into a blue chip or vice versa. Like yesterday, I took a little bit of BNB out to swing trade into Baby Doge, got out of Baby Doge, and now I have more BNB today, right? So it changes day to day. But yeah, maybe one day we'll do a full video and revealing everything that I own. Maybe somewhere down the line, but I don't feel comfortable yet sharing all of that information. But yeah, maybe someday. Will Shiba Inu eat a zero this year? I don't know about this year, PPD. It's tough. This year has kind of been, difficult for a lot of growth in anything, right? Unless something drastically changes. Boca says it's going to take specialists to target crypto. There are very few crypto specialists. It's more likely they will outsource to companies that are proficient in blockchain. That's a good point, Boca. It makes sense if they were to go that route too. I agree with you. Baby Shiba Inu CMC says up 21 million%. Is this correct? I have no idea, Todd. I have no idea. There are some typos there from time to time. We get taxed on stocks. Why not crypto? Yeah, you get taxed on crypto too. But crypto right now in the United States is looked at as property. Will it remain that way? I hope so. I think that's a good way to look at it because it is property fundamentally, right? It should be taxed that way. But just like stocks, you have to pay on your crypto gains as well, and make sure you have the documentation. So, for instance, in 2021, I have, I didn't personally do this, but I hired my business manager to do this for me. But I have tons and tons and tons of spreadsheets because when you're trading crypto, when you're in and out of so many assets all the time, it is hard as hell to track, right? So again, can't wait to tell you more about those tax services. If you're in our private community, you'll have first dibs at that. So I'll be bringing in my business manager soon on that. As soon as he gives me the go ahead, we'll bring him in, and you guys can learn more about those services he provides and the business he's creating around it, which I think is going to be really successful. And I'm looking forward to seeing him grow it because it's needed as more and more people come into crypto. Doing taxes for crypto is not easy, especially when you trade a lot, right? That's none of your business. Oh, it's no problem. Paintball for life. I mean, listen, I totally get it. And some people totally reveal all of their holdings and things like that. I get it. And I mean, either way, I think if you want to, sure, go ahead. If you don't have to. So it's totally cool. Totally cool. Lord Shiba, have an entrance and an exit plan. Know where and when you're coming and going and stick with it. I agree 100%. By the way, if you're just checking in, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. Inflation slows. This is the big top story as economy cools. So the consumer price index climbed to 8.5% in July. It's a bigger slowdown than expected. Translated a different way, good news for the markets. And that's why Bitcoin is back up over 24K. That's why Ethereum has been back up over 18. And look at that, Ethereum climbing back up again, up to 1831 right now. So, but yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Would appreciate that. Would love for you to do so. And obviously, hitting that like button helps us out as well. A lot of new people popping in, checking out CPI numbers. This channel, by the way, if you're new, covers all things crypto related to Shiba Inu, to Cardano, to Crow, to Bitcoin, to Ethereum, and to CPI data, everything that matters and impacts our markets. Market is pumping. Yeah, it looks really good right now. Lucky's thoughts. Some people are saying short-term high of 64 cents for Cardano. Do you think that's possible? Certainly possible. We got there in June, actually. Okay, so if we go into Cardano, I think if we go into the 3-month, we'll see it. It's certainly possible. Here's the other thing. We're waiting on the Vassal hard fork. The Vassal hard fork has been postponed a couple different times, right? We're still waiting to get that. But if we go into the 3-month, that's exactly where we were. Your price point is exactly where we were back in June. And that's where we met some resistance and where we dialed back. Okay, there it is right there in June. Okay, so yeah, 100%. We could certainly get back up to 64 cents. I agree with that. But it's a long-term play for me for Cardano. Under 50 cents, I think anytime Cardano goes under 50 cents, it's a good buy. If it goes down to 45 cents, closer to 40 cents, it's a great buy. It's a great buy. The yearly low on Cardano is 39 cents. 39 cents. So that gives you a nice perspective. First person to ever say more IRS agents is a good thing. Yeah, Birdman, I mean, I'm trying to find the silver lining in there. I mean, listen, I understand wholeheartedly and clearly why people would be upset about it. But I mean, I guess if there's a silver lining, it's that they're realizing crypto is an asset class. It's here to stay. And millennials especially, right? Because all crypto owners, of all crypto owners, 67% are millennials. 67%. So more and more people are coming into the markets for the first time, and they're going to crypto first. They're not going to the stock market. They're going to crypto. So they know this is coming. They know a big wave of new investors is coming into crypto, and I think they're preparing for that. So in that way, I guess it's a positive, right? Because they're looking at crypto as a real asset class, which for a long time was not the case. Will SHIB eat a zero this year? I don't think this year, but we'll see. I'll be happy if it does. Missed my super chat. Sorry about that, Lucky. Let me go back up and find it here. I got you, man. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. Market pumping. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that donation to the channel. Let me catch up in chat here, guys. I'm trying to do my best. Let me scroll on down here a little bit. Boca calling out the burnt lobster pushers. Yeah, we see you guys in chat. Just slow it down a bit, right? Where do you see ApeCoin climbing in the next bull run? Great question, James. I don't know, but I'm here for it. I've got ApeCoin. It's right here in my, in my top 23 of the top 100 that I own. Right, it's situated right there at number 11. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Good morning, Anthony. How we doing, man? It'll depend on what they accomplish with their metaverse push. I agree. A lot of it will come back to their metaverse push because, right now they are the top dog in the metaverse category, right? They have the highest market cap, just over Decentraland and Sandbox and Theta. I do own some Theta as well. I don't have any Axie right now. I know Axie went off last year, but I have Zilliqa and Engine down in here too. So I got these plays down in here. I like the metaverse plays. Something is going to come of this space. What exactly it looks like, I don't know. I disagree wholeheartedly with what Mark Cuban said. I thought I would get more people to check out that video, and sometimes the algorithm just does what it does. But if you missed that video, go check it out. I posted it yesterday, and listen, I love Mark Cuban obviously and what he stands for, but I don't think his talking points on the metaverse give it much justice. And here's the thing: I don't know exactly what the metaverse is going to look like, but I do know that we're getting more and more digital. I know that we're getting more immersed into technology, and I think it's going to go somewhere, and I think it'll be integrated with gaming. I do. Shib's going to eat all the other weaker Shibs and Lambo to the moon, climbing Pluto, circling Pluto. Nice, Sean. What's up, man? Good morning to you. What do you see happening with Saitama? I'm not quite sure, MN. You know, I know they had their State of Pro come out. Finally, that's good. I think from what I heard, it's working better than it did in the past, which is obviously a huge plus. They moved their company to Dubai. I wish them the best. I wish everybody who invests in Saitama the best. Covered it for a very, very, very long time here on the channel. And listen, there are some great people in that community that I still, to this day, respect and really like. I met a lot of those folks out in Vegas, but where I see it going, a lot of it will depend on State of Pro and an adoption of that platform, right? Thoughts on Polka and Lord Shiba? They finally it says State of Pro works great, honestly, which is good. I'm happy for them. I really am. But here's the thing: they finally got help. For the longest time, I said Max can't do it alone. It's very clear. Like, you can't have a one-man show when you're trying to build an application like this. Well, what did they do? Max ended up leaving, and they hired a ton of developers. That's what you need to do. That's what a business needs to do, is to have a ton of people instead of one working on a project like this. Well, they went ahead and did that, and it looks like they have a better working product, right? So that's good. I'm excited for them, and definitely wish them the best. Thoughts on Polkadot? I do have some DOT. It's on my list. There we go. It's right there. I like DOT. I do have some. You know, I have pretty much the same amount of Sol, DOT, and AVAX because I couldn't pick one out of these bunch. I disagree with Cuban too, so I didn't watch your vid. We'll go back and catch it. Yeah. I just didn't agree with the take at all. I thought it was kind of short-sighted. And it was kind of like it was something I didn't expect to hear from Mark, right? Like, Mark's usually more thoughtful than that, I think. And I think he just said, it's the dumbest thing he's ever heard. Like, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, maybe it's just not fully fleshed out yet. I mean, I don't think it's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, if it were the dumbest thing ever, why are land sales like going to be over $1 billion? But yeah, it was this video right here that I did yesterday on the Metaverse. So let's see here. What's going on with some of our small caps that we watch here? Are we still moving up nicely here? Yeah, Apollo's up 8%. Colt is up 12.5%. Volt's up 7%. Terra's up 7%. Wagme's up 7%. Oh, Wagme's getting a nice little pop here. It's nice to see. Wagme's been on a nice little run here over the past week or so, getting back to where they were in mid-June. Very important, James, for sand and mana. Very important. It was interesting talking to David Gokhshtein on the channel recently. He was saying mana, he doesn't like mana. I still like Decentraland. I still own it. I don't own sand. I could be wrong on that front, but that's why I also have some other plays within the metaverse space like ApeCoin, Theta, and Engine and Zilliqa. But Decentraland was just the one I got into first, so I have a stronger position there. So I've decided to, hang on to that position over Sandbox. But it'll be very big. And Sandbox has probably done a better job with partnerships recently, Boca, that's a great point, man. Talking to William here about entry points. I see William's comment here now too. Hey, Zach, my average cost in a SHIB is at the 4.6. Is that too high to make profits? I think Boca said it perfectly. Listen, you don't lose if you don't sell. I'll add that tidbit too, right? And you can always buy more to lower your average cost. Taz, I don't think they should tax crypto any more or less than they do stocks. I think it should be the same. It's just an alternative asset class that should be taxed the same. I don't think there's any reason to tax it more, in my opinion. Marty, I had Chainlink for a very long time, and it's a really good asset to hold. I don't have any right now, but I should. I should. But again, I had to pick my spots here during all the dips, and I moved some things around. I took a little bit of a loss on some Chainlink in order to shore up some other positions. But I think Chainlink is here to stay. It's integrated into so many different ecosystems already. 100%. I think it's a really good investment. It's not an investment that's going to skyrocket, right? It's not something like some of these metaverse plays where we could see big gains from in the future, like ApeCoin, Decentraland, Sandbox, and what have you, and SHIB, some of these more highly volatile assets. Link is not that. So, I look at some of these right in here, like Link and Litecoin. They're pretty boring for crypto standards, right? But I think they're both good investments. I don't think Litecoin's going away tomorrow, anytime soon, rather. I don't think Link's going away anytime soon either. I feel the same about like Monero, the the top privacy token. I did not buy any land there, but I need to. Andrew Brew, I did not yet. I can't come around to it. I'm just getting my feet wet with NFTs, so you got to give me a little bit of time. I have some on exchanges, but not nearly as much as I have in wallets Southeast. But the two exchanges I do use, if I do use exchanges, it's Coinbase and Crypto.com. Guys, I'm trying to catch up in chat here, guys. I'm sorry I can't keep up with everything. I'm trying. If I miss something, drop it back in chat. I'll try to get to it on the flip side. Paul says, good morning. WAGMI and Xenu are small cap picks. Hit the like button, everyone. Have a great day. Yep, I like both of them too. I like Xenu still. Paul, we talked about that one a lot last year. Jacob, thoughts on status on Engine? Listen, I loved Engine and what they were building. What I didn't like, and I said this way back in 2021, is that we had to wait a long time for the game to be released. It seems like they've went a little quiet. So sure, from an investor standpoint, that does not give me a ton of confidence. So I'm with you, man. If they actually deliver on what they said they were going to deliver, I think it could be a really good game. But it's hard. It's hard in this space. And this is why in the gaming space, I'm just going with Gala, guys. They've already built out 13 games that are all in development or some of them even in beta. I'm going with Gala as my top pick. And then, of course, small caps like WAGMI. Yeah, I like it, right? BTFA is bouncing back a little bit here too. Some big sell-offs, but we're getting some bounce back here. It's basically touching this support line that we talked about yesterday. I don't own any Spell. We looked at it yesterday on the live stream. Do you think it has any? I do think it has potential. I don't own any right now, though. Don't own any yet, I should say. That could change. Let's see. Welcome in too to all the new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, highly recommend it, definitely. And we'd love to have you join our community here and make sure you're locked into the top cryptocurrency news. We'd love to have you join our community, and appreciate all the people hitting that like button too. That always helps us out. Like them both, VVS and Tonic. Like them both within Chronos. Haven't bought either one yet though. Brian, I appreciate that, man. So funny story. A lot of people know this who've been on the channel quite a bit. I broadcasted baseball and football before and all the sports pretty much, from swimming and diving to soccer to volleyball, pretty much all the collegiate sports I've broadcasted except golf, which is funny because it's probably the sport I know the most, but they don't really broadcast those at the collegiate level. So yeah, that's why you hear that, because yeah, I did it for a long time, did it for like 7 years, radio and TV. broadcasting sports. So appreciate that comment. That's funny. Yes, sir. I'm a newbie. Crypto Info. Welcome, man. Welcome. Glad to have you join our community, man. The Gold Eagle. What's up? What's up? I just don't know about Jasmine. I haven't invested into it. It sounds great, right? People have called it the Bitcoin of Japan. I don't know. Something felt off with Jasmine, I guess I'll say. And I know that's not like a deep depth analysis of the project, but again, when there's well over 20,000 cryptos, sometimes you just got to keep it moving. And if it doesn't draw you in early on to do a lot of digging and to do a lot of research into it, I tend to just kind of look elsewhere and find things that do draw me in so I can do more research on it and eventually invest in it. Can you actually show us the value amounts of your portfolio instead of using a Word doc? Not right now, HB. I'm not comfortable doing that. Maybe someday though. Maybe someday I will. Brian Harris, awesome. Go Vet, go VRA, go Gala. Golf, you have to whisper too much. Yeah. All right, guys. He's got 150 left here. Looks like he's got an 8-iron. You want to be over on that top right shelf of the screen. It funnels back down to the front left. Something like that, right? All right, back over to you, Dottie. Dottie Pepper. She's been on the PGA Tour forever, right? I would love to broadcast golf. I never have done it before, but I think it'd probably be the easiest one for me because it's the sport I love. Brian loved it. You like that? There you go, Brian. There's a little bit of a golf play-by-play for you, right? All right, McIlroy's got 218 left here out of the rough. He's going to have to really get through this ball. This rough has been brutal on the right side here all week long. But we know he has the strength to do it. There you go. There's just that's just right off the top of the head there. There you go. Zach, you should go into the golf broadcast business. Listen, man, I was in the broadcasting business for a long time. I love what I'm doing here on YouTube. I'll say that. I love what I'm doing here on YouTube. So you can't do everything. You got to pick your spots. And right now, I love what I'm doing right here. But who knows? Maybe someday. Who knows? Vechain hasn't had its run up. China ban hurt it, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Woody, for sure. It definitely did. But it doesn't change the tech. It doesn't change the fundamentals of what Vechain brings to the table, right? That's why I still like it. Zach could double as an ASMR artist, no lie. Yeah, I mean, hell, who knows, man? Who knows? I am definitely going to make some other YouTube channels in the future. But I'd like to, what I'm going to do, I don't want to give my idea away, but somebody will jump on it. But I have some ideas for other channels down the line. Right now, it's about building this one. Once I get this one to 100K, once I get that that silver plaque back here, 100K, then I'll be comfortable with where this is at. I'm obviously still make videos on this one, but then I'll start building another one. Once we get to this one to 100K, I'm going to start building another one. I don't want to give all my ideas away though. I've been thinking about it for a while though. I've got a notebook filled of what I want to do with it. I know sometimes it's weird listening to you talking now, listening to you calling a basketball game. You had come a long way in the past 2-3 years. Yeah, man. There's actually some clips way back on my channel. I think if we go oldest, yeah, there's me broadcasting. So 9 years ago, there it is. So there's proof that I actually used to broadcast. Is BTFA and Bandex combining? Ellis, I haven't heard that yet. Bandex has been struggling a bit. I haven't heard that of yet. I have not got the official word yet, unless I've missed something. Did they make an official announcement on that or anything? Let me see. I don't think so. No, I haven't seen anything official from them either. So, thoughts on Kadena? I like it, Craig, but I don't have any. I do like it, and I need to take a look at it. It had a huge run up. A lot of people are mining Kadena, right? Is that right? Is it Kadena or is it Helium too, but Cadena, I think a lot of people mine it. I think it definitely could in the future, bouncing ship. I've got a little bit of Dojal on Mars. Not a lot, but it's a fun one to have. It's a scratch-off ticket for me. I don't have it. It's not like a huge portion of the portfolio or anything like that, right? But it's a fun one that it's definitely got some legs. Gained some legs last year, gained some traction, if you will. Input on Ethereum, it's my top holding. So that's how I feel about ETH. That's how I feel about ETH. Morning, Mark. How we doing, man? Let me know in chat if you're a new subscriber. I always like to see who's a new subscriber to the channel. Appreciate anybody who's joined today, joined the channel today. Also, of course, you got the link down below if you want to join our Patreon. We had somebody do that earlier. Shout out to everybody here today, learning more about CPI, learning more about the crypto market, where we're at, and learning together, really, because every day is different in this market for sure. Why are you not covering Saitama at a time when they're actually doing things right? HB, listen, man, I'm happy for them. Okay. I'm happy for them that they got it right with Saita Pro. I'm happy they went out and hired people. Happy for the community who was down in a lot of their investments. I'm happy for them. I'll say that. How about that? Jermaine, what's happening, man? HB and Boca going out. Hey guys, play nice, play nice. We're all good here. We're all good here. Thoughts on Ethereum? There you go. I think I already gave them, right? I mean, it's the top holding I have. I mean, that's very bullish. Morning, Fernando. How we doing? They did have an announcement, and yes, the two tokens will be migrating together. Okay. I haven't seen the official tweet, and I listened to a lot of the Telegram chat yesterday. Maybe I missed it in there for you. Let me know. Did they mention it in the Telegram VC yesterday? I have not, Taz. I probably should, though. I probably should stake the Shiba Doge NFT. Woody, it's a great question. I think proof of stake is the way to go for ETH. I do. What's up, William? Welcome in, man. New subscriber. Awesome, man. Glad to have you here. Floki Inu. Man, it took the crypto space by storm. It's one of those top meme coins. I don't own any, though. But I hear you. I know the community's big and very passionate. Price prediction regarding Ethereum. It depends how far you look out, right? 15, 20,000 down the line. Yeah, I like that. Everto. I think you're laughing at my comment there. Play nice, right? You rock, man. I appreciate you, man. Do you expect another crash, and how would you invest 2K right now? Ruben, good question. I don't expect another crash. I do expect us to be in this type of market for a while. I expect us, if I had to expect anything, my gut tells me we're going to consolidate around these ranges for a while. Like Bitcoin from 18 to like 24, 25K. We'll see. How would I invest 2K right now? That's tough. What are your goals? What are your goals with that 2K? Are you trying to make that 2K into 5K by December? Are you trying to put that 2K and set it and forget it for the next 10 to 20 years, right? It's not just as simple as I have 2K, what do I do? What are your plans? What are your goals? What do you want that 2K to do? And how much time are you willing to wait? So you have to answer those questions before I could answer, give you my opinion on give you some thoughts on that, right? Not a financial advisor, by the way. I'm just a talking head on YouTube. Any news on how the Shibarium test that is going? No, I don't. I haven't heard anything on that bouncing ship. We do know that the documentation will come first. Well, I mean, here's what we do know. Q3, we're supposed to have the beta release. Now, recently, I did a video last night on Shib talking about, let me get out of my sports broadcasting stuff here. All videos. So last night I did one right here. This video that got that I did 17 hours ago. Saitoshi dropped some information. So check out this video. He dropped some information in terms of where we are with Shiba Eternity. Could be seeing that done relatively soon. And then after that, the focus could be shifting to Shibarium. So check out that video right there if you want more insight there. So ETH 2.0 is, or the merge, they're calling it, right? The merge now. It's been called like 18 different things. I don't know. Ethereum 2.0, the merge, whatever it is, right? September 19th is the date. September 19th is the date we've been told. And then I've seen things like the week of September 19th, maybe not that exact day, but we'll see. As long as as long as that day doesn't get pushed back again, which who knows, right? Who knows? How does an ETF work? An ETF is a basket of stocks, meaning you're not just investing in one stock, you're investing in a basket of stocks. So there might be, 10 stocks within an ETF, and then you have a percentage, maybe just for example's sake, an ETF out there could have 10% of Tesla, 10% of Apple, 10% of Google, 10% of Microsoft, 10% of Facebook, 10% of Amazon, right? And then you own that ETF. So you get a piece of all of those companies. S&P 500 is an ETF. You're investing in the top 500 companies all the time. Yeah, the TG VC was 2 hours or so with just info on more info. Yeah, I know. I listened to about an hour and 20 minutes of it, so I must have just missed a little piece of it. Also, the play token, meme token is called Banana Chips. Yep, I did hear that. I like it, Philip. I like it. I own some. Yeah, Boca, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying to get through everything. When Honda instead of when Lambo. Yeah, man, for sure. All right, guys, I want to share this with you. So Clear Cryptos, you've probably heard me talk about it. If you're new here, you haven't heard me talk about it. But this YouTube channel, if you're looking for daily content and education, I'm a piece of this channel over here. I'm joined by a ton of great content creators over here. Clear Crypto's YouTube channel. I'm going to drop it in chat. Subscribe over here, guys. You're going to want to be locked in. We're producing a ton, and I mean a ton of educational content. I mean, look at this. Just every single day, multiple videos coming out, live streams. And of course, Clear Cryptos is going to be launching its own token as well later down the line. We're getting closer and closer to the launch. So learn as much as you can about this project. It's the project I'm most excited about in 2022. And would love for you guys to come on over and join us over at this channel as well. Just linked it down there for you. The Clear Cryptos YouTube channel, 805 subscribers now. I'm telling you, this thing's going to have thousands of subscribers in no time. With the plans we have for this channel, it's going to be one of the top crypto channels. Think about the ESPN of crypto. That's where we're going with this thing. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a ton of great content here. So whether you're new or you've been around the block or blockchain, come on over and subscribe to Clear Cryptos YouTube channel. Get in their Discord as well. Learn more about what is going on in this ecosystem. A lot of big plans. They've got a huge trading platform they're bringing out. that is going to be advanced trading, very, very different than anything we have. Along with that, they're going to help secure the DeFi space in a multitude of ways. Multifaceted, a ton of utility, game-changing project. I'm excited about it, excited to be a part of it with all of these great, great educators as well. So that link's down there. Would love for you to come on over and subscribe over there. Just went live a couple days ago. There's my live stream. Went live with Luckside and Oscar over here. We had a great conversation. So come on over and check us out over there as well. If you're new to this channel, get over there as well. You're going to want to. So let's see here. Lord Shiba. What up, Zach? When BTC hits 100K, are you going to take profit or hold on to it so BlackRock don't get it? Chad, that's a good question, man. So my BTC, I'm looking at it almost as a retirement fund. Okay. I'm looking at my Bitcoin as like, hey, I'm diversifying my retirement fund a little bit with Bitcoin. So that's something I'm not even going to be thinking about until, I hit 50. Give or take. I'm 32 now. So I'm looking at a, 18, 20 year window, and let's see what happens with Bitcoin. I think we're going to be very, very pleased. What's happened to WAGMI? It's popping a little bit. They're doing a buy contest right now. Look at that. It's moving up. It's sold off with the overall market. Is that what you mean? They did a V2 migration too, but listen, it doesn't change the fundamentals. It's an $8 million market cap. WAGMI and BTFA are the two that I really like, under 10 million. They both have massive utility. They're both actually building during the bear market. And WAGMI's game has not been released yet. It'll be released in October. I have 11 of their NFTs, which will be a way to generate revenue for me when the game comes out. I'm excited about what they're building. Very excited. Let's see what this overall market is. Mike says, damn, Zach, thought you were older than me. I don't know what that says. Do I look that old? It must be the bald head. What do you think about Everdome? Haven't dug into it. I've heard about it in passing, Isaac, but yeah. Subscribers are going to boom when they release the launch date, in my opinion. I agree, Luke. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a ton of fun working over there with the Clear Cryptos fam. Really, really excited about what they're building, guys. Genuinely excited. Sat in on multiple meetings and learned more and more about the project and the people behind it. Because a project is only as good as the people behind it. And they have people behind it who can get things done and really change DeFi for the better. That's what we want, right? We want a safer space, similar to what Everrise is doing. That's why I love Everrise. They're doing good for all of DeFi, and Clear Cryptos will do the same. Hi, Zach. New to your chat, liked and sub. Question: how do you see Kronos in 2030? Man, so I just did. So I actually just did a video. Check this out, dude. You're gonna love this one. I actually just did a 2030 Kronos price prediction. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, right? But give or take, we have an idea of what it could look like in 2030, just with price models and things like that. There it is. Kronos price prediction 2030, 2 days ago. So check out that video, virtual citizen, and let me know what you think. But to give you the short answer, Kronos is right at the top of my overall holdings. It's number 6. There you go. Overall holdings in the top 100, that is. So yeah, love it, man. Love it. Ape stock, or you mean ape coin, Jason? Ape coin or ape stock? As you can see, I like ape too. If you're talking about ape coin. No, I'm not invested in Luna Classic. I've covered it just from the standpoint of I thought it was fascinating. Obviously, it was a huge deal in the crypto space that had lingering effects, and I think still is having lingering effects. But I'm not invested in Luna Classic. I was until my $2,500 turned into 3 cents, and then I decided to get out. But yeah, I don't fault anybody who's in it. I understand why. I get it. It's turned in kind of a meme coin in a way. And they're going to be doing some burns and things like that. Excited for anybody who made some money there on the swing trades or listen, I want everybody to do well in crypto. I want everybody to make money. So however you see fit to do that and you have conviction and with what you're invested in, then more power to you. And I want to see you do well. I want to see you win. Simple as that. But for me, I'm not in Luna Classic or the new one or Terra Luna 2.0. All right, let's close it out with just a couple more thoughts here from Bloomberg. Let's see what they're saying here, and then we'll close up shop. Almost a 2-hour live stream. Didn't expect this one. Just kind of popped up today, and with the CPI data coming out, wanted to jump on board here and obviously bring you guys the latest, give you guys some good insight into the markets. Hopefully you enjoyed the perspectives. If you did, again, I know I say this a lot, but you have to do it. Best way to get back is to hammer that like button or tap it gently, however you want to do it. Really, really helps us out, and it's totally free. And also, subscribe to the channel. Let's listen in.
More data still to come. They'll be in the quiet period by that point, though, so we won't be able to get the communication we would normally get around these numbers. Talking of communication, given today's number, given the payroll number we got Friday, what do you think the message is going to be from Jackson Hole?
I think the message is going to be that we're not in a recession yet. They're really going to emphasize that because, of course, there was this big debate after the second quarter GDP report, are we in a recession? So they're first going to say, look, the economy is still strong. That was an extraordinary jobs report on Friday. By the way, we also put out a report based on our aggregated card data yesterday that suggested that the consumer looked pretty good in July. Again, that could continue into August with lower gas prices. So the first message is the economy remains strong. And then after that, we're still very focused on inflation. We have a lot more work to do. They're going to keep that message very, very clear. But they could hint towards a 50 rather than a 75 at Jackson.
On the flip side, though, is the Fed going to have more hawkish rhetoric in that financial conditions are so much looser? We're seeing a lot of big move into tech now. We're seeing a fallout in 2-year yields. Like the investors are undoing what the Fed already kind of did. And so is that going to kind of force the Fed's rhetoric a little more intensely?
That's going to be a concern for them. I don't think they target financial conditions per se. They target financial conditions to the extent that they cause the real economy to overheat. So as long as inflation continues to show signs of slowing down, they'll be less concerned about the financial easing that we've seen in the last few weeks.
So as we work forward, as we think about the trajectory of each of that inflation is on and what core inflation is going to do going forward, if core stays sticky but headline comes down, what is the kind of the policy mix going to look like? Are we're going to migrate from 75 to 50 down to 25 as the Fed tries to fine tune this? How is the policy response in that kind of environment going to work?
Yeah, I think it's what you suggested. It's a slowdown in rate hikes, but an understanding that they need to keep hiking because, Powell made this clear. The person on, the average American consumer feels the impact of headline inflation, not core inflation. But at the same time, core is a better forward-looking measure because gas prices are not going to drop forever. We'll get some relief in July. I mean, we already got it. We'll get some relief potentially in August, maybe September. But at some point, energy prices will flatten out, and we do need the core to slow down in order for broader inflation to fall.
All right, before we let you go, I just want to end up on the market here and the move that we're seeing in the bond market. The curve is steeper, the real drop in 2-year yields. How much legs does that trade have right now?
I think it's probably a very sensible move in response to the data flow we've gotten. I mean, it's not just the inflation report. We got a very strong jobs report as well. So the broader story that the data are telling us is that the economy is in pretty good shape. That supports long end yields, right? And at the same time, maybe the Fed can slow down a little bit, and that brings down front end yields.
Aditya, thanks very much. Really great to get your perspective. Aditya Bave, BofA Securities Global Economist. Great to see you. All right, coming up, continuing the conversation on inflation, how is it affecting the consumer companies that also have to deal with higher wages and labor? We're going to talk about that with John Fieldly, the CEO.
All right, so that is what we've got for you. Just wanted to give you one more segment there on Bloomberg. Always good stuff there. And again, the headline today, CPI report, consumer price index climbed 8.5% in July, a bigger slowdown than expected, but inflation still remains high and will probably remain high for some time. We'll have the Jackson Hole Summit coming up that they just mentioned there. In that briefing, we'll learn a lot from that, and we'll get some indication on what the Feds might do come September. A lot of people, and again, this is important because the expectation versus reality, that's what we've seen here in these past few months. As long as the expectation meets reality, it's usually been pretty bullish for the markets. Today, expectations met reality. What happened? We saw rises in Bitcoin, rises in Ethereum, rises in tech stocks, and what have you, and overall markets. As long as the expectation meets reality in September, which the closer and closer we get, it feels like a 50 basis point rate hike is what people are expecting. If we meet expectations, we don't get thrown any surprises from now until then, I think we'll see the market continue to slowly, gradually move up and or remain flat. Of course, we'll be locked into all of that. And no matter what happens, we're here for the long term, and we'll bring you daily content right here on this channel. Thank you so much for popping in today. Everybody out there, from people who popped in for the first time ever to people who've been here for months and months and months, or even over a year, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And to show your appreciation, all you have to do is hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel, everybody. I've got 3 videos in the hole coming out after this one. So got more content coming out here this afternoon and, well, late this morning into this afternoon for you. And that's what we've got. Thanks so much for popping in, everybody. Appreciate it. And we'll see you all in the next video and or live stream. Catch you in the next one. Bye.